Beneath the quiet, overgrown hills of Columbia County, Pennsylvania, lies a secret that defies imagination. This isn't just an abandoned settlement lost to time, it's a living nightmare. A place where the ground beneath your feet is red hot, and the earth itself has been burning continuously for over 60 years. Sulfurous steam rises through fractured asphalt, whispering warnings of a silent, subterranean inferno that never sleeps. To understand the tragedy of Centralia, we have to rewind to the mid-19th century. Incorporated in 1866, Centralia was a thriving anthracite coal mining town. Thousands of hard-working families moved here, building churches, schools, and local businesses, all fueled by the vast, rich veins of black gold buried beneath their homes. For decades, Centralia was the epitome of the American industrial dream. Neighbors knew each other by name, children played in the streets, and the mines provided steady, reliable work. It was a resilient community built on sweat, faith, and the promise of a bright, prosperous future for generations to come. Pickaxes struck deep beneath the valley, tapping into vast anthracite seams that would one day become their downfall. By the mid-20th century, the coal boom began to slow down. Many of the major mining companies abandoned their complex network of underground tunnels, leaving behind a massive, hollowed-out labyrinth beneath the town. Nobody realized it at the time, but this empty underground maze was a ticking time bomb waiting for a spark. May 1962. A routine trash burn at the local landfill accidentally ignites an exposed coal seam. The town council had hired volunteer firefighters to clean up the local strip mine pit dump before Memorial Day. They set the trash ablaze, intending to let it burn down and then extinguish it. But the fire found an unsealed opening in the pit, creeping directly into the abandoned coal mines underneath. Flames crawled silently into forgotten tunnels, igniting millions of tons of anthracite coal deep beneath the unsuspecting town. At first, residents believed the fire was put out. Firefighters poured water into the pit and sealed the surface with clay. But beneath the surface, the anthracite coal, known for its intense heat and long burn time, was already smoldering, slowly creeping deeper into the intricate web of abandoned mines. Years passed, and life went on as normal, but subtle signs began to emerge. Odors of sulfur hung in the air. Basements grew unexplainably warm. Carbon monoxide alarms started ringing in private homes, revealing that a toxic, invisible monster was spreading silently directly under the feet of sleeping families. Lethal gases seeped through floorboards, turning peaceful family homes into dangerous, toxic traps in the dead of night. The true scale of the crisis became terrifyingly clear in 1979. A local gas station owner plunged a dipstick into his underground fuel tanks to check the supply, only to discover the gasoline temperature was a scorching 172 degrees Fahrenheit. The earth beneath his station was literally baking the fuel from below. In 1981, 12-year-old Todd Domboski was swallowed whole when a 4-foot-wide fissure suddenly collapsed beneath his feet. Young Todd managed to cling to a tree root before his cousin pulled him out of the boiling, toxic sinkhole. The hole dropped 150 feet into a deadly pit of carbon monoxide. This shocking event made national headlines, proving to the world that Centralia was no longer safe for human life. State officials tried everything to control the blaze. They drilled thousands of boreholes, flushing them with fly ash, water, and sand. They attempted to dig trenches to intercept the fire's path. But every effort failed. The underground inferno was simply too deep, too hot, and far too vast. Millions of dollars were poured into engineering solutions, but the fire continued to outsmart every barrier. It consumed oxygen from hidden fissures and expanded into fresh coal seams. Experts eventually came to a grim realization: human intervention could not stop the monster they had inadvertently created. In 1983, the U.S. Congress allocated $42 million, not to fight the fire, but to buy out the town. The buyout offer tore Centralia apart. Lifelong neighbors turned against one another. Some believed the government was exaggerating the danger to seize valuable coal rights, while others were terrified for their children's safety and desperate to leave. The once tight-knit town was fractured forever by fear and suspicion. Moving vans lined the streets as hundreds of heartbreak-stricken families packed up their lives and surrendered to the fire. More than 1,000 residents accepted the buyout and fled. As homes were vacated, state authorities moved in with heavy machinery to demolish them, aiming to prevent squatters and reduce liability. House by house, block by block, decades of family memories were crushed into rubble and hauled away. Heavy bulldozers leveled homes and businesses, reducing a vibrant borough to empty, haunting plots of barren land. By 1992, the state of Pennsylvania claimed eminent domain over all properties in Centralia, officially condemning the borough. The zip code was revoked by the Postal Service in 2002. On official maps, Centralia was being systematically erased, turning a thriving town into a mere memory. Despite the state mandate, a handful of staunch residents refused to leave. They fought lengthy legal battles to stay in the homes their ancestors built. In 2013, a legal settlement finally allowed the remaining residents to live out their lives there, after which their property would revert to state ownership. Today, Centralia is a surreal landscape unlike anywhere else on Earth. Nature has reclaimed the paved grid. Side streets now look like forgotten forest paths, lined with sidewalks that lead to nowhere, surrounding empty lots where family homes once stood in proud rows. Perhaps the most famous casualty was Route 61. The original highway cracked and buckled under the intense subterranean heat, forcing officials to permanently bypass the section. It quickly earned a new identity, becoming a legendary destination known across the world as the Graffiti Highway. Layers of vibrant spray paint covered the abandoned highway, creating a mile-long monument to urban exploration and decay. For years, tourists and thrill-seekers flocked to walk the colorful, abandoned highway. But in 2020, citing safety concerns and trespassing issues during global lockdowns, the private property owner covered the entire length of the highway with mounds of dirt, burying the iconic artwork forever. Today, fewer than 5 people remain in Centralia. They live in isolated homes surrounded by vast fields of overgrown weeds and trees. There are no stores, no gas stations, and no municipal services. The remaining residents live in quiet isolation, surrounded by the silence of a town that vanished. Overlooking the desolate valley sits the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Ukrainian Catholic Church. Built on solid rock high above the coal seams, it remains virtually untouched by the fire below. It stands as a solitary, magnificent sentinel watching over the empty town. Thick white fumes burst through fissures in the earth, carrying toxic sulfur and carbon monoxide into the chilly air. The fire beneath Centralia shows no signs of slowing down. Geologists estimate that the underground coal seam spans over 4,000 acres. With an ample supply of fuel and oxygen continuing to seep down through cracks, the inferno could easily continue to burn for another 100 to 200 years. It's impossible not to wonder, what if that trash fire in 1962 had been properly extinguished? Centralia might today be a bustling, modern community filled with thousands of residents, bustling small businesses, and growing families, rather than a cautionary tale erased from the map. An entire generation of children was robbed of their hometown. The school spirit, the annual parades, the family holiday traditions, all burned away from below. What was once a vibrant piece of Americana is now just a haunted expanse of wilderness hiding a terrible secret. Roots tear through cracked foundations as thick forest swallows the forgotten streets where children used to play. Centralia serves as a chilling monument to human carelessness and environmental vulnerability. A simple, routine mistake made on a cool May afternoon snowballing into an unstoppable environmental disaster, proving just how fragile our modern, engineered civilization really is when pushed to the limit. The buildings may be gone, and the zip code deleted, but the memory of Centralia endures. It stands as a real-life horror story that inspired books, films, and video games, a true slice of modern American mythology buried deep in the Pennsylvania hills. Deep beneath the soil, unseen red coals glow bright, feeding an eternal flame that outlives everyone who called it home. Long after the last resident passes away and the final remaining house is torn down, the fire will keep burning in the dark silence. A town consumed not by time or war, but by an unquenchable element ignited by human hands. Centralia, Pennsylvania, a place where the earth smokes, the streets vanish, and a hidden fire burns eternal. A quiet, haunting reminder that beneath the peaceful surface of our world, an unstoppable power can awaken at any moment, and never let go.